are you today? What's today, Swiss? So today we have a very special guest. The name is Janosch. Tell me your second name, your family name, please, because
Yes, of course. Hi everyone. My name is Janosch Thalmann. I'm also known by my artist name, that is Janosch CT.
what is better and easier to pronounce.
Exactly. I'm half Swiss and half Portuguese, and I live in Zurich. I was born in Zurich. I live here since I was born. Yes, and I work as an urban planner and an artist.
Just a second.
Mhm.
Just a second, because I'm reading some questions here. Thank you for coming. Janosch is a very special person because he already accepted for we have another life before. We did in Portuguese and now we're doing in English. What is very good and what shows he's very smart because he already changed the key for English. So thank you very much for coming.
You're welcome.
Tell us a little bit about your background.
Yes, of course. I'm currently working as an urban planner for an international company that's called EBP Schweiz AG. They have several business situations. One of them is in Sao Paulo, in Brazil. And before studying urbanism, I was working as an architectural draftsman. I did an apprenticeship, and since around 10 years, I'm also working as an artist besides working as an urbanist. So, yeah, I have my own art studio and I practice art.
Great. And tell us a little bit about your current work and how it's your differential as urban planner.
Of course, an urban planner usually tries to build something sustainable, to create sustainable cities. Also, regarding social classes, not only social classes, also ecological systems, climate, and everything else. So it's a very interesting job, and yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I think it's a very honest job. I'm doing something for the public, for everyone, for the society, and I think that's also what fulfills me about. Yeah, that's something that fulfills me doing this job. Yeah.
Great. That's very good because in Switzerland, who lives here in Switzerland knows that we have summer, like a very big days, so very long days. And then we come to winter, and it's changed a lot because we have not so many hours of sun and of day outside. So usually we stay during the day in the office, and this is very complicated for who has a job. There is not the person to fulfillment. So yes, it's very good. And how your work is related to art? Have some relation or not?
In my opinion, art has relation to nearly everything people do. Or, yeah, maybe people are inspired by something artistic when they do something, I would say. And speaking of urban planning, I would say that there are a lot of topics that relate to art. For example, different styles of architecture, different cultural influences, historic cities, ancient cities, and a lot more. And also, as an urban planner, we try to solve current problems that exist in our society. So it's important to be creative and to have something artistic, I would say. This question also made me think about the famous architect of Brazil, the Oscar Niemeyer, who was an urbanist and architect. Yeah, I think he showed really good the relation between urban planning and art.
Yes, it's perfect. I'm Brazilian, who I don't know. You brought for me a very special friends. Thank you. And for you, what do you think is the ranking of Switzerland when we talk about art? And is this good? How is the possibilities that Switzerland gives for people who is artists? And what you think about, like when you think about other countries and Switzerland, you think that it's the same or which ranking it is?
Um, there are options to become an artist and to learn more about art in Switzerland, but I think it's hard. It's quite difficult to become a sustainable artist in Switzerland because usually we focus in our economic system. We focus more on other jobs, on maybe not the artistic jobs, because I think artists are seen more as people who are practicing their hobbies. So I would say it's a bit harder in Switzerland to be an artist, to live from your art, than in other countries. But still, there are some good schools, some good universities to study art and to evolve as an artist.
Perfect. I think in everywhere in the world it was always similar. Has a lot of people who was very good in their arts and what they was doing, but they died without be recognized the the work they did. Today we look like yes, everybody did a very good job. Like Leonardo da Vinci for me was very interesting how mathematics passed for art for him and how the brain works for him. But I think in the general nobody was so like during the time was alive. People was alive. They was not really recognize it and pay it really good. And of course, you do portray as well, so that is also something very good because people who do just abstract arts or something like that, I think have more difficulties to have their arts and recognition. So yes, and yeah, because when you do a portrait, someone can pay you. For example, I want a portrait, so yeah, one day I will pay you, and this have value because usually, if you do that, it's special. You see yourself there. Of course, you see also the self from the artist because the art is subjective, and that's beautiful and have price. But usually, if you do abstract, you cannot have this kind of thing because you don't paint someone or you don't draw someone. So that is a little bit difficult. So this comes for the next question. What was the challenge you had in
For
your life?
me, to become an artist or to, I'm still like in the process of my goal. But I think until now, the main problems or challenges were that the financial risk that you take while getting an artist, because it's not easy to get a sustainable artist that lives from his work. So that's one big point. You always have to have the plan B, and also the comfort of having other options like other normal jobs. You always have the possibility to practice a usual job, and that maybe some people get comfortable and they think, okay, I can do a normal job, and why do I even practice art? So I think these two things are big challenges, and I would say for me definitely something I felt in the past. Yeah.
And what is the challenge? Because now you have a job and you are good in your job. And what is the challenge for you have a job and still be an artist and must practice it also? So what is the challenge?
The challenge is to have enough income from both sides to live, um, and also, of course, to have your mind separated, or not separated, but to have enough space for both things in your head. Yeah, I would say that are the main challenges.
I think work and do something else is always very challenging.
It's always challenging.
Because yes, for me, I work, I'm mother, and this is usually complicated because we need to think about and separate moments. So for you, you have also your studio, your art studio. So tell us what you told in the other live we had about you work 8%, 80%,
Yeah.
and you have a 20% of the time to do.
As you told, I work 80% as an urban planner and 20% as an artist. So I have 1 day per week free, or one day if it's 5 days per week of work. 1 day for my art, and usually I get up in the morning, then I prepare my breakfast, and then I go to my studio to practice art. And I would say that per day that I work in the studio, I spend between 8 and 10 hours painting, of course, with some breaks in between. But maybe that's another challenge I forgot, because of the 80% I work in the office as an urban planner and the 20% I work as an artist. It's sometimes difficult to be motivated on this 1 day you have to practice art. Yeah, because you have to be ready at this day. So that's also a point that maybe is a bit hard sometimes, but usually there's the weekend too. So sometimes I just focus on another day to do my artistic work.
Yeah, I think it's, as you said, usually it's very complicated. We separate our time and also our minds, and to be motivated, stimulated to do something else. And for you, as you said, there was something you can do, and that's good. And I think, in the general here, for who don't know, we have for different classes of work, we have a different times to work. So the time for one person who works in one office usually is 40 hours per week, so 8 hours per day, and then they can do like have a work 8% or 50%, as I worked it before. And yes, you always can have some time to do something else. What is good, because here in Switzerland we usually work a lot, and usually when we go work, we need some a little bit more time in the day. So we go eat and then we come back, and for finish one task, we need some 15 minutes more or something like that. And when we do that every day, we get less time to do everything what we need to do. For example, go back home, wash our clothes, go in the supermarketing, buy food, or things that we need for the day and the day after. So everything closes very early, even in the city. So you just have some points, some spots that stay longer for, open, but it's not like all night. It's like till 22, so 10 p.m. So it's also complicated for people who lives in the small villages, go buy something. Usually supermarkets close between 8 p.m. and 7 p.m. So if you work till 6 p.m. and then you go home by train and you don't live in the city, so you need to go a little bit far and you need some time for pick the train, the bus, or what else you need to take. Yeah, when you arrive home, sometimes supermarkets are closed. Your time and to wash your clothes is also not available anymore, and then you need to wait more. So I think the life here is very, very, very rushed. Usually we have not time too much time to do some stuffs, and when we have one day off, we can do so many so many things. Also go in the dentist or in some doctor that just works during the week, because have a lot of doctors here just works during the week. And usually we it's not when it's not something very special, we don't go during the time we are working. So that's here's the culture. Usually we don't know during the time we usually go to work. So that's also something good, and you give you more time
Of course.
to do your art. What one day for who needs inspiration, maybe you do everyday thinking, and then the day off you just put in the
Maybe, yeah. Could be
or
a way
how
to-
work that for you?
No, usually because my work takes a longer time, so in one day I will not finish a work usually. Sometimes yes, but usually not. And so I think about my art work that I want to do before, and then on the day I start painting. Yeah, and then when I start something bigger, I usually start to paint. Then in the evening, when I want to finish, when I want to start the weekend, then I let the work be, and next week I can continue because I'm painting with oil, and usually it's no problem to like start something and then continue 1 week later.
Good.
Or next day, whatever. Yeah.
Good. And what is the main challenge for in learn art?
Yeah, for me, I would say the main challenge is to be patient because art is a process and it's not something that you can learn in 1 second. So you need time. It takes time. It takes a lot of motivation too. And the other thing I was about to say is that art is subjective. So art is not the same thing for everyone. Um, yeah, maybe you like some work and I don't like it because it's just something that doesn't fit to my personality or whatever. Yeah, so I would say these two things are important to know. Because maybe you get frustrated as an artist because someone doesn't like your work, but at the end, it's you that, yeah, you have to know that it's normal. Exactly.
Yeah, it's everything is subjective.
Yeah.
Everything. I think. Yeah. Sometimes we like one thing. I can like one thing and you don't, and same. Uh, yeah, the same can happen with everybody and everywhere. So yes, I think when person can understand that and accept that, will be very much better for can keep going and keep doing what they are doing.
Mhm.
And this happened for me too. I do my job usually. I like that, but it's not everybody who likes.
Of course.
It's normal.
That's normal.
And so, in one message, if you could let one message for people who is starting learning art.
I would say to be no to maybe to remember the main reason why you wanted to become an artist, or it doesn't have to be artist, but the profession you want or the person you want. So always remember the reason why, and always remember what it gives you back. So for me, I always have to remember like um, why do I wanted to become an artist and what are the main goals. But at the same time, I'm always thinking like what does art means to me and what does it gives me back. So that gives me a lot of power and motivation once I'm unmotivated. Yes, exactly. And there is something else. I would also say that if you have a bad day, uninspired day, then don't be mad at yourself because it happens. It's normal. It's better to take a day off and then maybe continue with art or whatever the next day. So take your time for that. Because in a rush, it's creativity won't work in a rush. So yeah, those are the things I would say.
Good. For me, I'm more creative in the rush.
In rush because you have pressure. Yeah, maybe that's something subjective to it.
Yes, I think. Because usually when I don't have too much to do, I don't know, I start to be depressive. But I have TD, I'm hyperactive, so that's maybe why. So I like to have something to do. When don't have something to do, I start to think too much, and think too much for me don't work well.
Yeah.
Even I write poems, and even when I write, I need to be in touch. For example, now we think about something, we're talking about something, and then comes something in my mind. I just start to write, and this is, I have to, you know, if I have nothing to do and I just start to think, oh, now I will think about my something to write.
Then you won't. Yeah, I think it's maybe also a thing of combination because too much rush or pressure, I think, is also not the best option. But yeah, maybe a combination.
Yes, I think so. So, in 3 words, define your trajectory.
I would say faithful, passionate, and open-minded. Yeah, because it's important to be open-minded as an artist.
Yes. I think in life could be big, very better if everybody are open-minded.
Yeah, of course.
I think avoid a lot of things and brings a positive feeling, because if you are very close-minded, things that are coming, the news that are coming, and word is every time new things coming, and so when we are open-minded, we are open to receive these things too and to learn and to grow. So I think this is the objective for life. So
yeah, that's true.
And it's positive because then we learn something else and we can teach them something else, and we we make the circle of life still going.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Would you like add something?
I hope that I was able to give you some interesting information about urban planning and art, and about me, of course. And I would like to thank you for letting me be here, for inviting me to this
You're welcome.
to this live session, and also for the article I was able to write.
Thank you very much. And I need to thank you because, yes, you always has been a very open person. And here in Switzerland, I must to say, people are a little bit close. And they don't like too much, don't make too much new friends. And I think network is that we can be able to speak with another people and tell a little bit about our ideas of life, of art, or things that we like, and also give some information, because when we give something, we are able to receive something.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for you accept the second invite.
Thank you. Yeah.
And yeah, thank you very much for everybody who watched this live and who will watch that. and yeah, we really going to bring some information of different areas here. Art, business is not the objective here. Is really bring different information. We know have a lot of information in the world, but we speak about things that are near of us and with people that is normal people like like us too. So I think that is can inspire someone in life, and is I think as artists, as a artist, you are. I like to inspire people too. Thank you very
Yes,
much,
thank you.
and see you.
See you. Bye bye.